Glory of glories, O heavenly testament to the eternal majesty of God's creation. Holy macaroni!
Show and the Oddball Foundation is dedicated to mental health advocacy through art.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oddball Show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
Oh, hi. My name is Jason Wright, and I'm the president of Oddball Foundation. We are a mental health advocacy organization. We are having our first annual Gobble Wobble Free Throw Fest at the Qualters Middle School Saturday, November 18th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be a silent sports memorabilia auction, music from DJ Nick, and a chance to win a turkey dinner.
I want to turn into a turkey myself, and I don't want any other weird surprises. You got it? Hey! Not bad. Nice hot mustard. Good bread. Turkey's a little dry. The turkey's a little dry! Oh, foul accursed thing! What demon from the depths of hell created me?
And I don't know if that's going to be copyright infringement from the bat, but welcome to Oddball Show, the week that was. Jason Wright and Chad
Jason
Parento.
Wright, I'm Chad Parento. And Chad, why are you still in hell? Well, geez, I don't know. We're on our 6th remake here of this fucking show. We're on our sixth link to restream. I'm definitely gonna recommend this for all my friends who use Zoom and have no problems whatsoever. Hey, let's make your life more interesting.
Look, we have these pretty pictures behind us, though. Look, you're in hell. I'm in the hospital.
I got this hell for Zoom. I've been using this hell. I'm still in hell, basically. I think I'm staying in here until the end of Thanksgiving. I haven't. Hell's not done with me yet.
Anyway,
done with me yet.
Anyway, my name is Jason Wright. This is Chad Parento, and we are the editors of Oddball Magazine, and we do this every week. Chad,
it's the week that was. It is the focus on Oddball Magazine, the magazine, not the foundation, not the 5K walk, not the upcoming Gobble Wobble, not the upcoming board game, not the Jason Wright home game. Ask it. Lisa Baruch Wright approved. It is the Oddball Magazine, which it originally started as. It's many years ago.
It's like going home.
Yes, it's like going home.
It's like a nice warm blanket. I love Oddball Magazine.
And Oddball Magazine is oddballmagazine.com. It prints 5 days. It prints online 5 days a week, and we go through everything from the last week. That's not too much painful a process, is it? Well, let's find out.
It's sort of a painful process, but let's get back into it. So where we last left off with the Secrets of Skinny People, there was an apocalyptic ending. Let's see what's going on now. What's the secrets?
Oh my God! Are we? Wow, we're really diving right into it. It's almost as if we've tried this 7 times and we're tired of making discourse about it. Wow.
Well, we got to keep our one fan happy. So
Yeah. Hi,
you know,
Jeffrey. No, Jeffrey Fallon does Secrets of Skinny People. He actually is on hiatus on the week of November 13th, but on the week of November 6th, he was fully into it. So you get to play the voice of one person, Jason, the allegedly disintegrated female character from the week prior.
Wow.
For those who haven't been keeping up, the male protagonist and the female protagonist, names unintentionally left out, went to go rescue their friend random robot from the AI verse, created a character through ChatGPT. The male protagonist ran off with random robot's essence and the new character, Dr. Lucas, while the female protagonist was conspiring with a disembodied voice in the AI verse. And then next thing you know, poof. And now... What happened?
Now, the reading of the protagonist from Secrets of Skinny People.
Yes.
All right, here we go. What the? Oh, my head. Ouch. What's going on? I can't see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, shit.
Yes.
Oh my god.
She escaped she got kicked out of the AI verse. I don't know what this is.
Was she a kid?
What's that? I don't think she's a kid. I think she just got kicked out because that's where Random Robot was when they entered the AI verse.
Oh.
So if you remember back, I think in the good God, I think it was the beginning of the year.
Like look like the terror and the oh, this is so good. The terror and the thing and everything. Wow.
Oh, and it's the 13th, and we have no idea what the issue is. And we're not going to know until next week because Jeffrey Fallon took the 13th off, and all we have is this. All we have is this. These final foreboding panels. We don't know what's going on.
Wow.
So you'll have to keep on going to this. You could take this week, especially to check out the archives of Secrets of Skinny People and see where the story and try and guess where the story takes us from there. Because I'm not sure I have a clue.
No, there's a screwdriver. They're building the robot, and they're back like a year ago. That's insane. This is insane. I'm gonna like this. Yay! Can't like it.
There you go.
I have to log in. Yay! Wow, that was incredible. He just gets better and better and better and better and better. Jeffrey's awesome. Let's see what Ann Scove has to say today. Chad?
Wow, you have been crushed. The technical difficulties crushed you. You usually go into like 12 tangents per post, but now you're just
I know.
You're like this is like what happened to me this past weekend when I went to go see the Holy Relic in Sandwich, Mass. They actually have
You went vacationing. Tell me about it. Tell me about your vacation.
We just went on a day's sojourn to look for look at the arm of St. Jude, which was on display. The mummified arm of St. Jude is on display at a church called Corpus Christi in Sandwich, Mass. And we waited in line. We waited for an entire Mass, and then we had to go outside to get in line, only to find out that there were people that didn't go to the Mass that were in front already. So and it was a very long line. By the time we get there, people tell us we no longer are able to kneel. Like, everyone's been kneeling in front of this thing, and now they're like, we got 4 o'clock Mass, no kneeling. I'm just like, okay, so much for the reverence.
You had 3 listeners at one point until you said kneel, and then they just all left.
It's not what I meant.
It's not what I meant. So you could no longer kneel. They would no longer let you kneel. You had to sans kneel.
I had to sans kneel. We had just to go there. I had to fist bump the arm and the hand, and then that was it. I wanted to take a pause. Take a knee, and then act like I was going to arm wrestle the arm, which is just like shooting up like.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Jeez.
That was amazing, but thanks to the fact that they don't have they couldn't kneel, and they probably would have dissuaded against any photography beyond the quick shot I took. I had
a shot at St. Jude's arm.
The picture's on my Instagram.
Hey Jude.
Oh, believe me, I'm doing something. I'm doing something. I actually hashtagged Hey Jude along with St. Jude because he's touring the world now. Like, man, St. Jude's arm and Keith Richards' liver going on tour.
Keith.
Yeah.
Keith.
I'm up. Come on, Jude. Come on, Jude. Hold my pick. Hold me pick. Like.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
But yes, what I'm saying is like the whole procession was rushed, much like this is, or at least it was until I talked. But let's go to
moving on to Anne Scove. Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Okay.
Chad, what's your favorite Beatles song?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I'm going to say Hey Prudence for right now, but of course it could change in any given moment.
Hey Prudence.
Hey Prudence? Okay, good. Forget that new AI. Forget that new Beatles AI. All
Inventive.
Inventive. Until I was 9, I was an only child with glasses and braids. My mom took me everywhere. Often, I was the only child in a room full of adults and maybe a pet. Adults often make conversation with children by asking questions they wouldn't dare ask another adult. How old are you? Can you read? What grade are you? Inevitably, they ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? Perhaps I was overthinking my answer. I thought I had to commit to whatever profession I answered. The answer had to be flexible enough to encompass a variety of options. So I decided to tell people I wanted to be an inventor. Complete with Bunsen burner. Because all scientists use Bunsen burners.
Oh, yes, the Bunsen burner. Coin from Mr. Bunsen.
A burner? A Bunsen burner? Yes, it's...
Yeah, I mean... do you remember using a Bunsen burner in high school? I mean, I'm sure you have a story about that. You probably lit up a frog or something.
I did not...
Who are these people? How do they get a podcast?
Exactly. But no, I didn't. I never had a Bunsen burner story. I was always scared of lighting anything on fire. So I let the A student take care of it. But thank you so much for the memories, Anne Scove. Thanks for preaching the sciences. Every time
I dissected an owl's turds once, so that's cool.
Oh God. My girlfriend actually has to explain scientists to kids. Like, do you know what a scientist is? And they always say, oh, they're with a whole bunch of vials and chemicals and potions. And it's all because of pictures like Anne Scove's, which has her with the Bunsen burner. But at the same time, I said, well, you're not just going to have a scientist pushing a lever back and forth. You know, the Bunsen burners and the chemicals make it look interesting.
The microscope, you look in, you see all the cells and stuff and the photoplasm.
Yes.
And the phytogasts. I believe that's a thing. The cytoplasms. And by the way, Chad, this is a picture of me waking up in the morning after not sleeping.
This is the fabled two-nosed. This is the two-nosed cat, and it's the subject of this week's acrostic poem from Mike Messer.
Beautiful cat. I don't even like cats, and that's a pretty cat.
Kind of adorable cat. Yes, and the name of the poem is Snoot. It's the shortest acrostic poem he's ever done.
Okay.
Second Snoot, Janes, ensure that their sprogs, not much plagued by the sniffles, the smogs, out of tube to breathe through. Only if both her two treasured snoots have olfactory clogs. So it's acrostic limerick and a crimerick.
Yeah.
And of course, Mike Messerson Givens has been one of our most prolific contributors since the year started.
He has been. Professor Emeritus.
This is his 20th contribution to Oddball. Excuse me.
That's almost as many as I have.
Oh, what? You have 500, goofball.
No. 500.
Let's go to Oddball Stories and do the one paragraph here. This is a more humorous aside, and given my days spending time in youth hostels, so this one spoke to me. The whack was in my bed. This is an Oddball story by Jamie Borisov. who I believe is is an Australian, yes, an Australian-based travel writer.
Love
So
it.
I'll only do the first paragraph. I'm here to talk about the hostel dorm weirdos. Have you met any yet? No, not the ones who stay in their bunk all day glued to their phones, or those who won't stop talking when you stumble in after 6 flights and 54 hours without sleep. Not those who want to tag along to everything you do, or those who give you a blank look when you say hello. I mean the real psychos. The probability theory suggests that if you backpack for long enough, some serious wackos are bound to end up in your dorm. I've shared my bunk with a couple of memorable ones, both in the most touristy of places. That makes sense. Why would a lunatic journey to Asuncion or Nairobi when they can do the loony stuff much closer to home? And there are 2 dorm psychos. I will not give away the punchlines to this because this is one of the shorter Oddball magazine Oddball stories. But give this a check out. It brought me back to my days as a stayer in youth hostels.
Oh, do tell, please. I want to know.
Actually,
everything.
we were the psychos. Actually, in one instance, we were the psychos. It was me and an entire youth group from CYO, just giggling and farting, and unfortunately, we were the majority in the room, and the minority were two people who bunked who were like in the same bunk on top, one on top, and they shared the bunk, and they were from Germany.
Yeah,
and we just kept on. We pictured them as German spies because, of course, that was the thing to do when you were in the 80s and in your teens. And we just kept on making up scenarios. I'm sleeping with American teenagers. They fart. Send helicopter, something, please. Yeah, it was.
Chad, every time you talk.
We lose a follower.
We lose a follower. We got one, and you're like, we fought. We lose a follower. Like, this is too lowbrow. I've got something better to do. Oh, look, a cat chasing a red laser thing. Everything is ridiculous, Chad. Just pure ridiculousness.
The algorithm does not like me.
The algorithm does not like me either. I literally had a call with someone who was like, hey, tag your YouTube videos and you might get more than one person watching them. I was like, oh, that's a novel idea. Maybe I'll try that. $6,000. Great. Brilliant. Really big show. Yeah, so like
but yes.
Tell me more about your hostel life.
That's all I'll share now because we don't want to lose the last single listener. I could just do algorithm puns all weekend.
You could.
I actually had a friend who was telling us how she was trying to create her YouTube. She's trying to convert to Islam, or actually learn about Islam. So she's been like searching and setting up YouTube videos so that when her front page comes up, she'll have more videos to choose from and to learn throughout the day. I'm like, so you're creating the Allah algorithm. And we lost our last listener.
Really big shoe.
But I'm sorry. That pun deserves more traction. I will go to my grave saying that.
The Al Yankovic rhythm.
We lost it.
Yeah. Did you see that? No, we could talk more. By the way, this guy said that. This guy said every time you mention something, you should tag it. And I was like, "Are you serious? Is that what you want us to do, friend?"
He probably knows more than we do. Or
is that what you want us to do, friend? Do you want us to tag our podcast? Do you want us to have more than 1, 2, 3 viewers?
Are you Al Gore splaining? No.
Algorithms. Algorithms. That's like what kind of band would Al Gore? He'd be a percussionist. He'd be a tambourine player.
He'd be a triangle guy.
The mouth harp. Bang, 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 bang.
Okay.
All right.
Now we can actually get to the serious stuff, and you know what I'm talking about soon. But for now, I'm going to read I mean, good God, dude. Your poem from last week was crazy. But
Yeah, it was. It was insane. That was that here. Oh, we'll get to it, but there's an explanation.
We'll get to that in a minute as well. But Scott Taylor, who is, I believe, a returning contributor to Oddball, hasn't contributed for a while, but he is joined with Thomas Reisner, who is one of our newest painting contributors, and I'm enjoying his work. Actually, most of our art. One of our artists actually came by completely new. It was quite a painterly week of contributions.
Thomas Reisner, you're talking about, right? This is totally new.
Yes. I think he's only joined us a couple of times, but I do enjoy the poem from Scott Taylor, Swimming Upstream. I talk to a God who I don't believe in. I curse him and I berate him and I threaten him and I taunt him because there is just nowhere else to go with it. It's a rigged game from the beginning, this one. It's a rigged game from the beginning. This one isn't on, man. Antelopes are created just to be torn apart.
Ooh.
I'm just going to leave it from there because I did like the ending of this. And Scott Taylor definitely comes from the Bukowski camp.
I like this. Yeah,
you kind of get what you're expecting. You kind of get what you're expecting, but you're kind of not at the same time.
You know what I like? I really do. We've talked about this before. The style of no punctuation and lowercase, the E. Cummings of the poem. I enjoy it.
But he does have punctuation, but no
capitalization.
But to everyone their own, and at least a consistent style. At least I thought.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Have you seen his other work? Does he do this, or is this one of his style of poems?
I think he's been tweaking his changes over the years. I think he's always had the Bukowski tone.
Decline 4. Wow. All right. Thomas Reisner was born in Leipzig, Germany in 1971, and I still live here today. Already in elementary school, I often painted abstract instead of the given concrete drawing. I later retained this style or changed it to abstract figuration. I painted a lot at home, always without professional guidance. I didn't have any specific role models. When I started a picture, I only have a certain idea, but often something completely different emerges. I would describe myself as an outsider art artist. And Scott Taylor is 49 years old and hails from Raleigh, North Carolina. He's a writer and a musician and an avid world traveler.
And welcome back, Scott Taylor, and welcome back and welcome aboard, Mr. Rising. It's I think it's your second or third contribution. You keep them coming.
Thomas Reisner writes.
Now we gotta go to yours, and
there is some explanation to do. Explanation on this poem.
I know who Andrew is. I think it's safe to know. I think it's safe to say I know who Andrew is.
Yeah, you do. Yes, and Andrew's one of my best friends. And
before getting into that, I just want to lay the preface for the audience. His 500th column came and went. Jason Wright has been doing 501 Jagged Thought columns with 502 dropping tomorrow. Jason Wright. Jason, what to say about it? No, Jason Wright has been. Jason Wright wanted to do something special for the 501st. I thought I'd be getting this piece in at noon. He got this piece in that morning because he wrote it like at 2 or 4 in the morning.
That's correct.
On Monday the 6th.
That's true.
From Monday the 6th to Tuesday the 7th. And I had to do some edits to this, but more or less the spirit of the piece is kept, I think. But I want you to start. I'm going to make another hot chocolate, and I'm going to listen to you while I'm heating my cocoa in the lake of fire. And
all right, lake of fire. There's a lot of preface to this, but let's get into it. And Chad, I'd love to know your thoughts about this one. This is true to its word. So
you get started.
On. Huh?
Yeah. So get started.
Yeah, I know. Strap in, everybody. Jagged Thought 501. Mannix Who Can't Sleep Revisited. I'm just going to turn this really big shoe down. All right. Jagged Thought 501. Mannix Who Can't Sleep Revisited. I once wrote a poem and my best friend, he loved it. It was called Mannix Who Can't Sleep. I performed it before the death of my cousin. We were at his friend's garage. His name was Trevor. We might have been drinking, might have been not, might have been winter. I wrote the poem in a sing-songy way. This was in a galaxy far, far away. I was new to the school. I don't know where I was. I don't know where we were. I just remember the music. My friend, he loved it. Has it recorded somewhere. My wife just told me it's 2:30 in the morning. I said I know that this poem is for him. Mannix Who Can't Sleep Revisited. He loved the way the poem sounded. I just loved him. The way he spoke to me without judgment, smoked to be bright-eyed with love. We drank Paps till we threw up. I remember it because one of us threw up in the tub, another in the sink. We lived in Salem then. You have to remember the time. He was the one friend I could depend on. I lost so many at the time. I lost my mind at that time. I had no friends. I had some drugs, some leftover weed. I got a little dirtier indeed, but with Andrew back then, there was music. We drank and I loved it. I was a kid buying Pabst Blue Ribbon, being kicked out of college, living in some demented room. I loved it. I tried to get back, but the story goes a little back before that. I met Andrew outside of Bates at Salem State. I went to meet this beautiful black girl named Candace who I thought liked me. I rang her door. Someone else answered, said she was not there. Message received. I was drunk. I saw him standing there. He was with Sid Vicious relived. Drunk and stumbling, I met Andrew, and we struck up a friendship. I had already screwed up my life on campus once before. Still a tale I can't really tell, but maybe should. It was a mania, they called it, but to me it was so much more. A beautiful moment before it wasn't, and that's all I will say about that. We'll join with a cartographer from the other side to explore it. But there was Andrew, instant friend, brought me to the Yellow House the next day. A fraternity of punks and outcasts, not a real fraternity. In fact, Salem State didn't allow real fraternities. He made music with me, and how I loved playing with him. He taught me Bright Eyes, showed me the blues and Rolling Stones, cued me into the Damned. The other day I was hearing voices at his party. We will get there, but there is still more to tell. Andrew and I have been friends since we both sobered up, mostly, from where we were to where we are now. Andrew is a father of 3 and has been married to 2 beautiful women. I've been married to a beautiful, loving woman, too. I brought Lisa to Andrew's house in 2004, and she saw us fight drunk. I put hot sauce on his pizza. He punched me. We were drunk. My face turned red. We were drinkers then. The other day, I pulled a knife on him and his friends. Now we were talking for the first time since then. I was scared and unprepared. I'd taken CBD with THC. I still take CBD with THC, but I take much less than I did. He is concerned for me. But our story, there is more. Andrew was in my wedding. I was in his as well. I've always been a freak, but with him I wasn't as much. If we're going to be honest, it has always been love. Andrew made a mistake once and it messed up his love. I listened to him, thought maybe too much, maybe gave him bad advice or too much advice. His love and him broke up. I don't know if it was my fault or not. That's what I was thinking. I felt that Andrew had hidden resentment towards me, and everyone was drinking. I thought the party I went to was going to be my last night, that it was going to be a bad night, and I wasn't drinking, but others were, and I wasn't prepared for the night. And now we will be speaking for the first time since then. I never even got to hear Poe recite The Raven under the guise of absinthe, but there's more to this story than that. Andrew was the best friend I ever had. Sometimes I felt uneasy with him, as if he hated me or something and just held it in. I used to be afraid when he called that something bad was going to happen. If doomsday was 12:29, Andrew would make it 12:30. And when that started happening, I was at my house in Somerville. I called him hi. I was playing. I think I wanted him to hear a song. He said something cryptic. Look, we all don't live that long. So I always have felt a little uneasy, like he would be the death of me. That might be paranoia, might be reality, might be CBD mixed with a little THC, might have been the steady car ride and then the messed up party, might have been his friends who I thought would sacrifice me. Joe and Joey with the top hats. It was probably an awesome party. The girl who dressed plainly, others dressed steampunk. Maybe just me on CBD while others would slowly get drunk. Maybe it was the roast beef dinner because we were kind of role-playing. Maybe it was the Philip Glass music. Maybe it was because I misinterpreted what others were saying. I was hearing voices. I didn't feel very safe. Thought it was going to be a very bad day. I didn't know if I trusted his wife, his new one. Thought his friend might have a gun, but that's the thing. I realized lately I trust no one, and Mary is a good woman. And the alleged man with gun was just John, and I might have been excited to see two rock stars in my eyes reunite, maybe play music that night. But roast beef is a choking hazard, and steak knives are scary when you don't know anyone at a party that's supposed to be scary. But that's the thing. Andrew's like that, not dangerous, just like that. He'll play his own music and is good at what he does. And it wasn't him at all. It was me because I don't trust. I realize I'm in DRA, and that means I speak my truth. I don't hold back, and I will not lie to you. And I had something to hold in. I have a 501st poem, and since you have already gone home to sleep, I am free to roam with my words before foundations became a thing. This is the mind. I'm a writer and a musician, so I guess I let people in. So in a perfect world, I would have understood, but it wasn't the first time I had to leave his house either. Plus, I had missed his wedding. My wife and I were having Emerson. But now, it is now a little after 3 a.m. Still can't sleep like I did back then. Now I can take Haldol, but I try and fight it. I had urge to write this poem, so I did. Probably catch some shit when I should just take melatonin. But manics who can't sleep sometimes get hauled in. Andrew is going to talk to me in the morning. I will not read this to him, but I love him, always have, always will. Doubt his intent was to kill. That's because I trusted voices, which you never should. But that's a defense mechanism, I guess. So I yelled at them all and said the party was fucked up, that I felt unsafe. I grabbed my steak knife, said, no one is going to hurt me, right? I just want to play some music. Andrew did the right thing. He took the knife from me. Instead of calling the police, he called Lisa and Conrad, took me home, and I took a Haldol and went to sleep. Manics who can't sleep sometimes take the hint. I definitely didn't write that part. Jason Wright is the editor and founder of Oddball magazine. His column appears weekly. His third book, Train of Thought 2, Almost Home, is available now at the Oddball bookstore. Chad?
So, I guess the only question I have is, did he react to this?
Did I react to this, or did Andrew? Did
Andrew react to this?
I told Andrew that he could read it, and we had a nice conversation about some things, because back in the day, me and him had read. I had written this poem, "Manics Who Can't Sleep," and he loved it. And it's weird that 20 years later, I would write a poem called "Manics Who Can't Sleep" revisited on my 501st poem. And I did it sort of metaphorically, because if it was like my 502nd or 503rd poem, I would have wrote like 10, 20 lines and just let go, you know?
Is this poem in any of your books? Doesn't sound familiar to me.
No, it's a poem pre-Oddball magazine online.
That's what I thought.
It's a poem that I wrote in one of my notebooks. And it was when I was first meeting Andrew.
In a Train of Thought book.
No, actually, no. Chad, I think it might be online somewhere. It's hard to find. But it might be online. It is a really cool poem. And there's a CD that me and him put together with music to it. And the thing is, this was intentional in the way that I needed to write something for the 501st,
right? And
I needed to get clarity on some stuff in my life, and I also was going to try and write 501 lines, and then I just kind of like ran over it till I got my point across.
Yes.
So I don't normally write these free prose poems anymore. And I enjoy telling stories. But also, yeah, I mean, true to the word, I hadn't been sleeping very well, so it seemed apropos. And I do have history of mania, so it makes sense that I would use that as a poem topic. So
and did you get rest after writing this?
I did. I got rest after writing it. I am working through the sleep issue, and I'm doing a lot better. I think that Sleep for me is incredibly important as someone with a diagnosis. When you stop sleeping, you stop thinking straight. You stop thinking. Things become really messy, groggy, even. Just you slug through things, and um, and you start to adapt on less and less sleep, and it's just like unhealthy. So my PSA there is get some sleep if you're having trouble sleeping by any
There
means
you go.
necessary. But yeah, but honestly, Chad, when anyone is experiencing some sort of mania or hypomania, it's really incredibly hard to fall asleep. So that's when you have to take something like a Haldol or a Trazodone or something. But you know, everyone has their own ways. But the regardless thing of it is just getting sleep is just so incredibly important to your mental health. And if I didn't have that poem to write on that, because I would have had no time to do it, because I think like I had a majorly busy day the next day, so I was gonna have no time to write it. And I wanted to do it justice. And I was like, you know, I was thinking about the poem Manics Who Can't Sleep, and then I wrote it. And it's not the prettiest poem. I don't love it. I don't think I would perform it very often, but I think I'm proud that I put it out there as my 501st poem. It's kind of like when I put out my what was it? 100th poem. Do you remember my 100th poem that I put out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So similar to that, you know, shake it off, keep on moving. But you know, with poets and writers, you know, Chad, we just, we write, we get through things, right? You know, and that's what that poem's about. So that was, you know, getting through something, and I did that through the writing. So that was my 501st poem. What were your thoughts on that one?
To be honest, I wasn't 100% sure. I wasn't 100% comfortable posting it at first because
Yeah,
I knew the people involved, but I also know a little bit about Andrew Bourne myself. We were both at your wedding
yeah,
so many years ago. I wasn't at either of his, but I'm pretty sure that's because I wasn't invited, not because I was a dick and didn't show. But but he but yeah, I kind of had to. As usual, I have to make decisions on the quick
yeah,
on any day where I publish Oddball. Otherwise, it doesn't get published.
yeah.
So that was a tough one to go through. And you kind of hinted that the last line was kind of like that was kind of like a little bit of my machinations. The last line.
Yeah, yeah.
And but that was a tough decision to make too, because I usually don't try and put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I felt that that's what you were getting at with the repetition.
Yeah, and I like how, like, I think actually that by putting the Manics Who Can't Sleep revisited halfway through over and over and over, it was kind of like breaking the poem in. I don't think by any means it's a bad poem. I think it's a very, I don't know how to explain it. I think it tells a story, and I think always that's what you want to do. You want to be honest in your poetry,
Right.
at least for me. I've written some pretty hardcore stuff in the history of Oddball magazine.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple things, but honestly, story poems are really good because I don't think if I didn't do that, that wouldn't have done anything justice. The 501st poem should have been something special or something different. So I don't know. I think my 502nd poem is going to be this one that I wrote about my teacher, Miss Trombley. Yeah. So she passed away. She was 83 when she passed away, and it's just a simple thing that I put on Instagram. But it was basically talking about having the integrity of to see through the event that I'm having, and how she would do it, basically. So that kind of thing. Why did we have a 502nd poem?
We have a bunch of ones that I still haven't printed from like a batch you gave me, so we're all set for a while.
Okay, good, yeah.
Definitely.
I don't even know what I wrote. I have to write another series of poems too, as well. So,
right.
Yeah. So, you know, the thing about having having autobiographical or personal poetry is if it's not real, then what are you doing? Why are you writing? Right?
Right.
I mean, you have to kind of wear your heart on your sleeve sometimes. You can write about dragons and shit like that if you want. But,
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So the Oddball show.
Sorry if I put you on the spot there, but I kind of demanded it.
No, I appreciate that, Chad. I would be remiss to like not read that and be like just walk away from it. So, I think it's worth a discussion because honestly, that was in a fleet of trying to get some sleep. So it made sense that I should write about it while I was in this tailspin of trying to get some sleep. So now, when I like to read things fast usually, but this one is just like so. I don't know how to explain it, but but I don't know. I feel like it's a good story, and you have to have integrity when you're writing,
Right.
That's I don't know. Be honest with your audience, and if that kind of thing. So anyway, the Oddball show. This is from the week before, and if you can actually recall back, I was off of my rocker. Remember when we were reading that thing?
Yes.
That was so funny. But yeah, it was. It is what it is. And let's just say I'm doing better than I was before.
You want to read this poem?
I do, yeah. Poem by Mary McAllister. Now, who is Claudio Parentella? Is she related to you?
Brand new contributor. I think they wrote to both of us inquiring about their pieces, and they sent.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
Or he's amazing. Who is it? Amazing. Yeah.
Well, I think I thought it was a he. Yes.
Yeah. Claudio. Born in Catanzaro. Yep. Yeah. Claudio. Yeah. Sent me a bunch of artwork, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And he said that he would send me more stuff, and this is one that landed in the magazine. So let me read this one. Poem by Mary McAllister.
Okay.
All right. Displaced persons. Wednesdays, my mother and I took the streetcar downtown. The car guided by wires and rails. She with hat and gloves, me reading the signs, and the faces of the other riders. Watching as my mother made her judgments, feeling the grumbling steel beneath my feet. What kind of shoes encased their tired feet? Those who stood at the back of the streetcar, tattered clothing invoking her judgments, all while wires above consorted with rails, below programmed to carry these riders, immigrants from old countries without signs. Where do we get off, I'd ask. Watch the signs. As I fidgeted past the street names, feet cradled in patent leather, unlike riders, humbled at the back of the streetcar, as it screeched against the tarmac-covered rails, the same greeting for each rider, no judgments. And it goes on. And, Chad, what do you think of this one so far? Chad just left. Chad just left.
I'm here.
Chad, what do you think of that one so far?
I'm taking part. I'm taking care of something in the other room, but let me just say that I kind of like this because it dealt on several subjects like peripheral to what's going on in the world. Displaced persons is something you're hearing a lot of during the Gaza conflict, and I don't know. Yeah. I do like Mary's piece, but it also kind of alluded to other things as well.
Yeah,
it was a very interesting poem, and the piece from Claudio enabled me to touch on the author's observation of being a young person, but still being very observant.
Yep.
Audio stuff is going to be hard to match, but I think I did a good job with this one.
I think Claudio. Now, where's Claudio from? Do they say?
Read the bio. I'll be right back.
All right. Born in Catanzaro, 1962, Italy, where he lives and works, Claudio Parentella is an illustrator, painter, digital painter, photographer, mail artist, cartoonist, collagist, textile artist, and freelance journalist. He has been active since many years in the international contemporary art scene. And Mary McAllister is a writer and a visual artist who keeps trying to retire, yet keeps working for no good reason. In her professional life, Mary worked for more than 25 years for the Johns Hopkins University as a writer, editor, and continues to work for freelance clients around the world. And that is just a beautiful piece right there. Just simply beautiful. All right. Chad, we're moving on to James Van Loy, I believe.
I can read the next piece because we have one more to go. And this one I went with photorealism just to balance things out with the painterly.
Wow, Edward S. Gall with this picture. Okay, go ahead, Chad.
That's one of my favorites. Some of the pictures from Ed have been my favorites this year.
Yeah, this is a beautiful picture.
If I'm not mistaken, it's close to where Stone Soup would used to have their live shows until we got thrown out of there.
It'd be great if you were able to get another gig in Boston. You know,
I'm fucking trying. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something. But
yeah.
Oh yes, Mr. Tom Laughlin.
Tom Laughlin.
Let's see. Past due to TJ in Egypt. You are hidden beneath calendars, coffee cups, torn pants. My desk has grown large beyond floor-boxed books, Japanese lessons, students staring from envelopes. I have covered tomorrows with tomorrows, having been sacrificed for today's. The bees I've reached tentatively, one arm still too comfortable around the old world vision of calculations toward the carrot. So the news grows. Still, the juvenile beast of beginnings breathing over the shoulder, larger with each day, night, desk and that lamp sneering above blank pages, scribbled notes to do, to ask, to be, to think, windowed stairs still breathing hardly, heavily, to the clock's movement. To the graying evening's movement, to the reflections, hollow, vacant, ghosted in the glass.
Nice.
Another one that turns towards memory, but it's even more concrete in some ways. It's and kind of really spoke to the photorealism of the picture above.
Nice website. Looks like this is his book here, Poems by Tom Laughlin.
Yes.
It's available.
He also has
book on fishing
line press. His chapbook is The Rest of the Way by Fishing Line Press, actually, from last year.
Nice.
Nice. Yes.
Nice.
So very happy with that combination of work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see who I have. Let's see who we got next. Oh yes, of course. And that was, of course, the Wednesday group, which is the most kind of odd differential pairing I've done in a while. I tried to do themes. The best I could do for like that past theme was like memory, but also with Tom Laughlin's poem, I was also delving into the Egypt and the Middle East. So I was still, and we do have a piece that was published today, that touches on the Middle East. I was still kind of just like trying to peripherally get out there with stuff that might even touch on it a little bit. It was
Louis Lazaro Tyrina, right?
Yes, Louis came up with published their poem today at 3:00, and it's been getting some feedback, and I feel like that everything I published last week kind of built up to that, even though I didn't even know the piece existed until a couple of days ago.
All right. It's all one thing. 510 Beat the Press. We're talking James Van Loy. I like this one, as they used to call it. Do you remember when we were at Starbucks? That's not the, Do you remember when we were at Starbucks at the Harvard Square? We tried to have that poetry reading. That's what this one was.
What a disaster.
As they used to call it. After visiting with a poet friend at the Star Market, outdoor seating for Starbucks, I walk on back up to the Red Line train on my old grocery shopping route from when I had lived on Savin Hill for over 18 years past, where the Globe newspaper had printed its rags for decades, and I could still look into the press room area. But of course, the presses were gone, just these big empty bays where once a mighty industrial engine turned, and I knew this would be the case because I'd been at demonstration for Julian Assange, publisher who put the Iraq and Afghanistan memos online as being held in extradition proceedings in London's Belmarsh prison at the U.S. That's you. That's us. Seeks to bring him to America on charge that would put him in Supermax in Colorado for terrorists for a full 175 years. And his father and brother came to Boston Common, so human to protest. But then we had bed in front, the new Globe offices, huge glass and steel, such as social inequality skyscraper, chanting at those tinted windows beyond, which they called cops on us, even as this is the 50th anniversary of publishing of Pentagon Papers, which are the history rhymes, not repeats, bookends of curtain age, time bind, arc of war, crimes of Vietnam, genocide, cover up so direct, connect assassination and torture in Iraq and Afghanistan, documented by our troops, published by Julian in the New York Times, which owns the Globe now, I guess.
It's kind of hilarious and appropriate that you affect when you try to affect the same inflection, when you try to copy the same inflections that James Van Loy does.
Yeah, that's so great. I think I nailed it.
Kind of did. You kind of didn't, but you kind of did at the same time. It's kind of wondrous. Wondrous.
Yeah. Now I just got to sing a song afterwards.
Oh God, don't! Please don't do that.
I'm
Anyway,
singing in the rain. All right, Janet Cormier, bamboozle no more. Go ahead, Chad.
What the hell, dude? Like, what the actual hell? You're kind of scaring me, sir.
What?
You're just kind of scaring me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh dear Lord. Yes, of course. Bamboozled no more. Shorter one. Chance expectation.
Oh, here we go.
Went out for a walk. A chance to stretch. A change of scenery. Someone who could turn a 2-second greeting into actual conversation. Don't expect too much from the universe.
She's going on with these poems about the universe. Last couple of poems.
What's up with the universe? What's the
deal with the universe? It's not like it's, it's not like Absurdiverse.
Anyway,
really big bed, really big show. We're doing great. We're doing great.
You're worrying me.
Yeah.
Thanks so much to Janet Cormier, still contributing. Oh, excuse me. Still good God, dude. Still contributing after all this time.
I know. Can you believe it?
And
holy cow, Alcide Rubiza.
What?
I just look at Alcide Rubiza.
Are you talking about Bruce Wise's wife?
I just jumped right to Bruce Wise.
Okay,
Wise.
so you got to pick. So you just jumped ahead. So now you have to pick.
All right.
You have to pick your favorite Bruce Wise poem of the week.
I don't know what he sounds like. I'd love to know what he sounds like. But
he's never sent you a phone call.
Have you ever talked to Bruce Wise on the phone?
No. Has he ever called you? Has he ever sent a voicemail?
No, he hasn't.
We have to figure out if he's online, like on YouTube or something like that.
How could you be so elusive to your editors? He catches everything though. He's like Batman. All right. Libraries by Willie Reed Books. In my youth, the school library was filled with colorful tales that made the world seem bright, animal adventures that shined and thrilled, poetic stories generating light. In my teens, our home library contained American histories and easy encyclopedias that well explained the world in the form of the neat essay. In my 20s, I enjoyed the high stacks of classics and literary critiques, the finest observations, subtle facts, and unconquered intellectual peaks. In my 30s, my library at home had over 1,000 tomes and dozens of areas, and I would often comb through them for wisdom, knowledge, and lessons. In my 40s, our library took in pictorial works for very young children, side by side with the scholarly book Thin. Once upon a time in thick, dense till thens. In my 50s, the internet became my library for all manner of texts. Now I'm greater access and can lay claim to more information in all respects. Will he read books? Chad,
Yes,
will he read books?
I know.
Oh, God, I love him. Will he read books is a poet of books.
Duh.
All right, Chad, which one do you like?
I have a couple here. Let me just take a quick thing here.
Will he read books? Come on, Bruce. Wow. Do you remember when I made that poem for Bruce and I was like, no Sag tiger.
I need to get up and exercise more. So I'm doing another one of his exercise poems.
Yeah, do an
He
exercise
paused.
poem.
He paused, which has to do with pickleball, which is something that I see a lot of. Well, probably won't be seeing a lot of now that the chill is upon us.
It is
But,
a chill for no pickleball at this point.
Yeah. He paused. He paused to see the brand new pickleball and tennis courts, the blue surrounded by a green rectangle for the sport. The neon yellow tennis balls now easier to see than how it used to be when tennis courts were colored green. Complacently, he walked around black-coated vinyl fence, observing player stances, rackets prepped for the defense. He watched the serves, the volleys, drop shots, smashes, and the lobs, while overhead the sun was shining far from yawns or blahs. He wasn't dwelling on the old catastrophe because harmonium was not where he was, harmonium was not where he was at, or where he paused.
Wow.
Now I just want a poem about pickleball from him. Is he anti-pickleball? I can't tell.
I mean, in all the years of Bruce Wise has written about, I think, everything.
Over 10 poems. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. He's written he's over 10 poems. Oh, get out of there. And for the love of God, Chad, we made it through. We made it through.
Good God, yes.
We made it through.
Thank God I couldn't add anything more on the long weekend because I was already preparing for what we thought was going to be a camping trip, but then turned out to be a day trip.
And you went to St. Jude's Arm.
It's a St. Jude's Arm at Corpus Christi in Sandwich, Mass.
That's like a big deal.
It was a strange experience. It very was, but very much was.
So if you want to see me and Chad in our element,
why would you at this point?
I know, right? This Saturday, we're going to be at the Gobble Wobble on November 18th at the Qualters Middle School. Well rested, shooting free throws with DJ Nick Athanas. It's going to be a really great event, and Chad's super grateful that you're going to be emceeing. We have the silent sports auction from KBK coming again. We got all these nonprofits planning on going. We're going to be splitting. We're going to be working with the Mansfield Food Pantry. We're going to be getting non-perishable food items from them to donate to Mansfield Food Pantry. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a fantastic event. And we'll see you down at Qualters Middle School on this Saturday for one of a kind.
Check out oddballmagazine.com of all places, and we'll be publishing more tomorrow. Jason's 502nd Jagged Thought. Keep on. Chad,
do you have an idea of what I'm writing, or should I write something different? Do you have an idea what I'm going to publish?
Believe me, I'm pretty sure we have stuff. I think we still have stuff from the second to last document you gave me, and
there's some good ones on there.
And then we only use one poem from the latest document you sent me.
Well, the only one I sent to you. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, because I sent you some stuff around Michael's. So I usually write for series of stuff, and those poems were all around the series of remembering Michael. Right. So, I write like a plethora of things at a time, usually,
Yes.
and send them over to you. All right. Well, Chad, I guess I'll just have to see what you're going to publish tomorrow. And
Yes,
hopefully it's not
and
just.
and so will the rest of everyone.
All right. Hey,
What
everybody.
was this?
Chad Parenzo, thank you again for being on the week that was. I appreciate it, good sir. My fearless co-host through the pits of hell and the insane asylum, which is my life.
And you can see the little blinking room in and out for the shock treatment later on.
All right.
Thank
Chad,
you.
be well, my friend.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
See you this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'll see you later, buddy.
The show's over. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye. Well, that was the week that was. My name is Jason Wright. And yeah, my feelings on that podcast. Well, it was a good one. It was a great one. And I'm very proud of it. So, Chad, I will see you at the Gobble Wobble November 18th. And everybody else, have a great day. Be good to your loved ones and read a book. My name is Jason Wright, and I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.